and may now speak to any of.
All right, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital, the nightly strategy podcast for November 10th, 2020. Tomorrow's Veterans Day. Thanks to all you veterans out there. Let's get started. After Monday's big gap up and harsh sell-off, what we ended up today was very little net over net change. There was a full ATR move in both directions, but we really didn't see much. Things are kind of settling in at this new price level, still above the previous peak of the RL10, so I take that as favorable. It's pulling the Bollinger Band mean upward, along with the RL30. The PSAR is still slowly trudging up. It's going to take a while for that to become a meaningful stop. But all the price was north of the edge of the river, so that's really the test, I think, to watch now, is to see is the river going to go absorb the price, or is the price going to stay north of that sloped line? That seems to me to be the important point. We did get a transition from winter to spring in the MACD, so that's something. We're still looking at 30-day and 10-day low here made 8 days ago. 30-day, 10-day, an all-time high made yesterday. So that's quite a move. It's almost a 14% move from bottom to top there. It's pretty remarkable. Still looking at a low and a higher low. So this is still, as long as it's staying above, I'm going to say 350, then we've really got an argument in favor of that kata number 2. But just another day in the silly season in politics. And I will tell you what, people are really looking at the large cap techs, saying your days are numbered. And if you're Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, Google, you better have a good exit plan or a plan to preserve the outrageous gains that you've made this year, because you are in the sights. And we're going to see that reflected today. Excuse me. All right, so we had the S&P was down just a fraction today. We had DIA up 1%, the diamonds. The Russell up 1.9%, and Treasuries coming in at minus 0.6. So selected gains today in the U.S. The symbols that made a better performance in the S&P today, well, healthcare and finance up 0.3 and 0.5. You had Mexico and materials up 1 and 1.2. Mexico up 1.8. Then the energy complex of oil up 3. Oil exploration 3.1. And the energy sector itself at 3.2. Big gains from Boeing, Devon, DuPont, Home Depot, Nucor, as you would expect, Alcoa, Procter, Walmart. So the non-techs getting it done today. Caterpillar up there as well. And then everything tech was bad today. So there's the S&P at minus 0.15. The weaker sectors included silver and Simon Property at minus 0.3. Healthcare and Japan at minus 0.35 and 0.4. Emerging markets minus 1.15. Clean energy minus 1.4. The broad techs 1.8. The FANGs minus 2.5. Wheat and precious down 5%. The triple techs down 5.4, 5.9. And then the symbols that got crushed today, NVIDIA minus 6. Win minus 5.5, giving back some of those 25% gain from yesterday. Salesforce, Amazon, Microsoft, Nikola, Tesla, everything down 3% or more. There's Twitter, Google, Apple in the red, Intel in the red, Amazon in the red. So all the techs got slaughtered today. And that's just the headlines speaking out against the social media. So I think we called this a couple weeks ago that, the Democrats were praising the selective censorship of the cloud servers and social media. But now that it looks like they're getting the presidency, they are coming after these guys with a vengeance. So that worm is turning pretty quickly. Just a couple symbols to work with today. Oh, gracious. So cold on the walk. I'm still chilly. All right, so we're going to look at Brazil with supported spring crossing, Kata 1 and Kata 2. We had a gap up and a peak, a valley that held support at the VWAP, and then an emerging dragon. So it got long here with the usual stop. Was slow to exit with a fraction. It bottomed out, held support at the VWAP, crossed the RLXD, and bought it basically as an emerging dragon. I wanted to see it get clear of this. So it's not quite in the pocket. More of an emerging dragon than anything else. A workmanlike gain right there on one position. Missed the collapsing dragons. Came back with the supported spring crossing in the usual way. And just took the, by the numbers mechanical exit there, the managerial exit at the Bollinger Band main. That turned out to be a pretty good trade for today. A continuation of the RLXD. So bottomed out here at Z-1, got the RLXD with the stop here. And fractional loss. Now we have a collapsing dragon and a Z3P breakdown, and I'm looking for that first move to get back to the VWAP here. So I'm looking for this kind of a move. And then if that were the case, I take that maximum move from the VWAP and say this thing could also move that much further down. Covered after that Z2 excursion. That's essentially a supported spring crossing exit. feel like I missed this. On a better day, I would take this as Kata 2. Could argue there's a Kata 2 here as well. A low, a higher low, and a breakout, either here or there. Most times I'm going to take that trade. So I do take this Kata 2. So we have a swing low, a higher low across in the VWAP. Winter turned to spring, turned to summer. So that's a natural play with a stop right here at the PSAR. And scratch. A collapsing dragon short. Once that thing took out this whole price complex right here. Now it feels like this again. Heading back to this. The geometry is compelling. Good exit on a Bollinger Band mean exit, and it closes out the day. So not bad. We'll get hit a bunch of singles, made some contact. Didn't stay wrong too long. All right, so we got wheat and precious metals. I missed a bunch of the collapsing dragons in here as I was fiddling around with DIA and Brazil. But I missed a hybrid frog, a collapsing dragon, a second collapsing dragon, and then that should have been the cover of a nice big short trade. But instead, we took the supported spring crossing in the usual way. Kata number 1. Scratch. Re-entry. Fractional loss. Supported spring crossing, ever the optimist. Made back the losses. Short on a Z3 pinch breakdown and then falling below to VWAP. That gets paid. Second position short on that breakdown out of the Z3P. Another Z3P and a third breakdown, followed by a SSC exit near the, about 320. This time running out during the day. And that was about it. All right. So journeyman-like effort today. No runaway freight trains, but much smaller range days, a lot more chop today as the market begins to get accustomed to the Biden administration idea. All right, daily report. We remain bullish, volatile. We're back to like normal here on the 3, 10, and 30-day NDX. Still in a risk-off condition, but favoring the swings to the long side. Goldman, Johnson & Johnson, Coke was big today, DuPont, and Verizon. Some real tech leadership there in the 10-day max pain. Salesforce, Microsoft, Apple, along with McDonald's and Nike. A handful of dojis here in the Dow. McDonald's and Merck testing out well on the auto framer. Coke had a big day, along with Verizon and Walgreens. And Boeing did well also on the breakout. Again, I like looking for things that are bucking the trend, that are making significant new highs on their frame of reference. That's what the NDX does for us. In the ETFs, a few more dojis, a few more auto framers to look at. We had oil exploration breaking out, XLE, the energy sector, oil, and DuPont. Good half dozen symbols now starting to shape out nicely on the auto framer, including 5.5 to 1 on treasuries. Nice. Gold, real estate, McDonald's, and silver. Some nice defensive plays in there. In Merck, too, I would put in a defensive category. The daily squeezes, only Merck tests out well, but XLB is close to that 2 to 1. It's a rounding error, so it doesn't fire as better than 2 to 1. The S&P is pretty near high in the stack, but at 1.7. So there's starting to be a nice range compression in action here. Now, on the MACD histogram, these leaders in the form of summer candidates, that's should be stalking these. Some good names in there. And then looking for exceptional weakness in the NDX, there's Microsoft and Salesforce, Nike and Apple. That's a little discouraging for the bulls. And then the NASDAQ and the tech sector suffering. Meanwhile, it's defensive plays and energy that are in the big green. And that looks like a sector rotation into energy. You see how bad they are on an annual basis. So there's still room for them to run. All right, that's everything I want to cover for you tonight. I'm going to give you some time to get some trades framed, and I think I probably need to take a few more steps and get a little nap in. It was quite a busy one with the doggies today. I'll be thinking about you veterans out there tomorrow. Thanks, Lisa. Take good care. And I should also say we had a really good session this morning with the true storytellers and some people just from around the world. Just 5 people. Let's see. It was Kuwait, Switzerland, Florida, the U.S., and Texas, doing the inaugural True Story alumni session. So it was a genuine good thing today. Chance for people to just tell the truth about where they are without fear, and in good friendship and good camaraderie. We need that kind of outreach, especially as traders. Trading is lonely enough as it is, and you start adding in COVID. Boy, it can just feel like you're in an echo chamber sometimes. So take good care of yourself, take care of each other, and we will see you ready to trade tomorrow. Keep your risk measured and your powder dry. Yeah, Betty and Lisa, I sent you a link to my little after action review of that with my mentor, David Boji. I just think you would enjoy it. Give it a thought. Some really good people in there. And we'll see you tomorrow.